Hi Leos and Leo lovers. This reading intends to take a look at December 10th through the 16th, 2018, of course. And in particular, I do want to sort of zero in on that Mercury transit that happened today as Mercury moved into Sagittarius. And the effects that that transit will be having on Leo life in general. First, we're taking a look back at the energy of the new moon in Sagittarius and what you brought of that energy with you into the beginning of this week. In terms of your love life, we have the Queen of Wands reverse showing up. But in terms of business, we do have the Eight of Swords reverse showing up. So around that new moon in Sagittarius, Leos, especially Leo females, you may not have been feeling entirely yourself. Others of you are, in terms of your love life, you have been missing another fire sign, another Leo or an Aries or Sagittarius. Or there's just been a lack of passion in your love life since the new moon in Sagittarius, we'll say, from somewhere between then and now. And then we do want to move forward and look specifically at today and midweek and this transit specifically, and then forward through the end of the week as well. That'll take us to the 16th, when I will do mid-month readings for you all. So we'll cover the whole month that way, Leos. And if what you're interested in is a larger reading, broader, that's not just for 1 week or one transit, I did December readings for all 12 signs already, so you may be interested in those if you're looking for something that spans the whole first half or even the whole month of December. And we'll get a couple of pieces of advice for you here too, Leos, looking at both your love life and your business as well. In terms of your love life, if you're hoping to hear from a Cancer, I do see the Chariot showing up at the end of the week in your love life. But I think in general for most Leos, this is movement forward, youthful, confident energy in your love life at the end of the week. It looks like currently some of you are trying to rebuild with someone currently right now, Leos. And that is what we're talking about as far as the movement forward at the end of the week. I did see, while shuffling and meditating with the deck, I did see that a lot of you have that you have a lot of options right now, that you're needing to go within and do some solemn meditation and contemplation by yourself, totally on your own, uninfluenced by anyone else, to make your decisions about these options currently. Okay. So in terms of your business, your work, your career, your studies, your money, whatever falls under the category of business to you personally, Leos, at the beginning of this week, and coming from the energy of that new moon in Sagittarius, you have been and are freeing yourself of limiting beliefs, seeing the way out in whatever problems there were regarding your business, your work, your finances. You've been seeing the solutions instead, seeing the opportunity to be a problem solver instead of focusing on where you're limited. You're seeing the ways in which you were limiting yourself, the beliefs that you held. And right now you have a great give and take going on in your business realm and world. I'm sensing that there's this equal output and inflow, this outflow of energy and time and maybe investments, and then you're seeing an equal intake from that effort currently, a lot of you Leos. And that's, you know, that's probably a big part of why you have so many options right now. The Eight of Swords in reverse, just skip these advertisements. The Eight of Swords in reverse is the energy that you're coming out of, you know, having freed yourself again from these self-imposed prisons and limiting beliefs. It leaves you in a much freer state, feeling free to invest, feeling free to dedicate time and energy to whatever it is that you're working on, whatever is your business right now. And people are taking notice. Energies, other entities, other energies are taking notice. And as I said, so you have this equal inpouring to match the outpouring. This equal give and take, this even flow. And I think it's creating a lot of options for you. As I said, a lot of maybe potential business partners. This card can also speak to charity. So some of you are giving in a way of not expecting anything back from whatever work you're doing currently. Some of you Leos, but a lot of you are going to be seeing that return soon if you're not yet. Because this is also about knowing who to give to. So you may be just freely giving investment and energy away, but you know who to give it to. So I think you're going to see that return very soon. And it's also a card about showing empathy to yourself and others, knowing that that is what nurtures growth. Perhaps you're investing in someone who you believe will grow, who can turn around and then help you in your business in some way. That may have had a lot to do with the limiting beliefs you're freeing yourself from. But simultaneously, in terms of your love life, as that's going on in terms of your work life, your business life, simultaneously you've got the Tower reversed in your love life. So you're also at the same time either trying to rebuild with someone or for a lot of you staying in a state of denial about the fact that something needs to be allowed to fall apart. Let's get a clarification card on your Tower in reverse. And I definitely see it in connection with the Queen of Wands in reverse that came up for us immediately. This is someone that either a fire sign that left around the new moon or that you've been missing at least since the new moon. Again, those are Aries, Sagittarius, or other Leos, or just someone that represents those qualities. Someone fiery, someone temperamental, someone that you had a lot of fights with, but a lot of passion with, someone who may have liked to be the center of attention. They may have seemed a little crazy to you at times, Leo, or that's your own energy that you brought to an interaction and partnership. It may have just been the chaotic energy that the two of you created, and that's sort of why something does need to either fall apart now and you're denying it, or is at a point where it's ready to start being rebuilt. You know, different Leos are at different points on that spectrum. Yeah, so certainly it definitely has to do with that Queen of Wands figure, and I do sense two fire signs here. You're a fire sign. We've got two Queens of Wands on the board. I do sense that it's another fire energy that you're dealing with. And again, they could just possess fire traits to you: temperamental, passionate, bold, fearless. You both may have a lot of these traits. And I sense that that's why there was the storm, the fire, the clashing, the chaos, the arguments. That's why there is this need to let things fall apart, and you a lot of you are in denial about the fact that things need to fall apart, while others have seen things fall apart, fall away, have realized what parts, maybe what people, maybe what scenes in general, or maybe just which pieces were not really meant for them, were not really built for them, or at least aren't for them anymore. And you're at a place now where that's why the rebuilding has to happen. Either way, I think, you know, Leos in general at this time are all wanting to rebuild with someone that they feel very passionate about. Likely another fire sign, this Queen of Wands. She's beautiful. She's vital. She's very much in charge. She has great influence over not only you, not only the people who are personally in love with and passionate about her, but just in crowds in general, energies, oceans of bodies in general. She can conduct these people, these masses. Very influential energy with that beauty and that vitality and that force. And I think that's a lot of the problem with the two of you. A lot of the fights, a lot of the chaos, a lot of why things either had to fall apart or currently need to fall apart. It's one or the other. Because neither of you are afraid to speak your mind, to stand up for what it is that you believe in, what your truth is, what you believe you deserve, what you believe you need, what you believe you're worth, where you want your relationship and partnership to go. And there is victory and movement forward as a result of that energy of standing up and defending what you want and what you need at the end of the week. Again, confident, youthful energy moving forward. You may still be braced for opposition, a lot of you, with your emotions in check, because, as I said, you're very passionate about this person, but you know what you need and what you want and where you're headed. And with the Chariot here, nothing's getting in the way of that. Not even your own emotions, not even your own desires. You will mow even your own sadness down if that's what needs to be to get you to where you are going. And again, this is specifically in terms of your love life. You're focused. Your intention is so focused that your will can bend nature. And when you are loving yourself in that very specific way, it feels like true wealth. It is true health. And it is true control. It is true control. At least as much control as we can exert over our own life, taking into consideration we can't control other people's free wills, and we can't control the powers that be, and we do have to find a way to work with those energies that are larger than life around us, that certainly do manipulate ourselves and others. But as much control as one human can possess, at the end of the week, in terms of your love life, you've got it. You've decided on what you want, what you need, and you are moving forward, whether you're able to rebuild with someone and bring this Queen of Wands character along with you or not. And it may, for some of you, that may be your energy showing up, your fire sign energy. And this is about any chaos, any battles, any upsets in your romantic life having made you feel not like yourself. And you currently realizing that you are what can be left standing when this dust settles, when this chaos clears. Whether or not you can make this rebuilding happen with someone else, you can make it happen with you. You can rebuild your life, right? And like I said, some of you are still stuck in a stage of being in denial about the fact that something first needs to fall apart in order for it to be rebuilt again, whether or not that's going to be with someone or not. But you, at the same time, I think, are seeing yourself clearly. You are seeing clearly currently that in the recent past, you haven't been yourself, you haven't felt like yourself, and you know why. You know what situation, what argument, what person maybe left you feeling that way. Encourage those feelings of, this isn't me, this isn't who I want to be, it's not who I am, right? And you can see yourself clearly, whether you're still denying that this needs to fall apart or have moved on to the part where you're rebuilding. You see yourself more clearly now currently. And that's what leads you into this energy of the Seven of Wands, standing up for who that person is, what they need, what they want, what they're worth. And I really feel like for most of you, this is a situation where this person is no longer around, or it is something that needs to fall apart in order to be rebuilt. That doesn't mean you can't later rebuild with that person, if you so choose. There is nothing lost that can't be found if sought. But with the Ace of Cups in reverse as the advice here, I do think that for most Leos that this message is for, we're talking about either an unrequited love or a false love, or someone in the situation just being afraid to let love in, being closed off in that way. And it certainly suggests to me that things need to fall apart for a time at least. And, you know, and I say this quite a bit when that card comes up, if it, you know, if it is meant to be, then the two of you would think would be able to withstand some time apart. If you can't withstand any time apart to reevaluate, get back in touch with, again, yourself, who you are, what you want, what you need, then it's a very, very fragile foundation that you're working with to begin with. If you can't stand any time apart to reevaluate, especially if things have gotten chaotic and heated and temperamental and crazy, right? So that's what we're looking at in terms of love life. And as a piece of advice, I'd say mostly asking yourself where one or the other or both of you are afraid to open up. Is that the issue here? Are you afraid to let love in? Are they? Is it just a false love? I'm so sorry. This is what it is for a lot of you Leos. It just turns out not to be what you hoped it was or what you thought it was. And damn it if you don't just hate to admit that. I can absolutely feel it. So many of you have yourself in a situation where you do need to let it fall apart because it's not what you hoped it was. And I get it. You just don't want to see it. You don't want to admit that, and you don't want to see it. You don't want to let it go. You just think, gosh, if we could just tweak it just a little bit, it could be right. For different reasons, because it's hard to be alone, because it's hard to be alone in holiday season, because you had your heart set on it, because you believed that they were who they said they were, or you saw what you wanted and you really believed that's who they were. You thought they could match you in every way, and it turns out there's this pivotal part of your life where they can't. Something like that. For a lot of you, you may be seeing it as unrequited love, and an easier way to view it is false love. It's not necessarily that they just don't want you the way that you wanted them to, or vice versa, but it's just that the two of you aren't the combination you believed it to be originally. Now, in terms of your business, again, simultaneously at the same time here at the end of the week, that even equal give and take that we talked about, that positive in and out flow of resources or even just energy right now in terms of business is leading up to, at the end of the week, this indecision and inaction. There's something in regards to your work, your money, whatever your business is to you, that you are keeping to yourself, that you are keeping secret. Arms crossed, folded over in protection, but one reversed, one upright. You are listening to your intuition, I believe, and I think that's what's telling you to keep this to yourself. At the same time, a decision needs to be made, and because you want to keep this information to yourself, it's one that you're needing to make on your own. And for a lot of you, I'm sure it's very difficult considering what you're going through in terms of your love life at the same time. And so I think that's why we see this in action at the end of the week, probably. You're just sort of you're just sort of not making the decision. And when it's reversed like that, it's often telling us that the decision needs to be made, because it's talking about, impotence. This card often screams to me, make up your mind, unless you want someone to make it up for you. And that's what you're looking at, Leos. You're in a situation where it's really tough to focus on these decisions that need made concerning your business. But if I'm right, you don't really want to share the decision with anyone else. You don't even really want to share the information with anyone else. Or at least the decision itself is yours, and you're trying to listen to your intuition regarding it. But some of you may be feeling like you can't really trust your intuition because it was so wrong about this person in your love life. And that's why I have a row for love and a row for business. Often in this spread anyway, it's something I'm trying, but often they do interact, influence each other. It's all, energy coming from the same individual, the same person, but your love life is not your business life. A lot of you have them tangled up, sure. A lot of us do, but it is not. And I find, as much as I practice, honing my psychic abilities and expanding my psychic abilities and being in constant conversation with my subconscious, I do find that when it comes to a lover, when it comes to a liar, when it comes to, personal matters like that involve my heart, and my long-term goals and dreams and plans as far as having a life with someone, etc., that it does get cloudy. I do want to see what I want to see. I do want to hear what I want to hear. I do have to double check and really lean back on the divine and rely on other information because in my own mind and heart it may be mixed up. But that does not mean that I cannot trust myself when it comes to trusting my intuition for my practice, when I do readings for you, for my business in general, for any other area of my life. It's absolutely two different things. I can completely square off those personal things and say, well, that, I have to be honest, I might not be seeing clearly. But I expand my claircognizance constantly, my clairsentience, my clairvoyancy, my clairaudience, and those things are turned on and turned up when I focus on something else. And I'm not saying that you have to bring psychic abilities to whatever work you're doing, but certainly you're encouraged to, and it's indicated that you already are using your intuition, trying to use your intuition to make this decision. But I'm telling you this because it looks like, while your intuition may very much be on point, it looks like a lot of you, might not be trusting it because I see this impotence, this indecision, this inaction just sitting there when it's a decision that you do need to make for yourself if you want to make it for yourself. Eventually, the chaos, the multiverse, the powers that be, or someone else will end up making this decision for you because of your circumstances or your timeline, your deadlines, whatever. That's often the warning. If you want to make it yourself, you need to. And I feel like I may be repeating this message to you, Leos. Someone had a very similar message recently, maybe even just at the beginning of the month. So I don't know if you want to go back and check out those full December readings I did for you, but as I'm repeating it, I'm starting to feel like I may have just actually said this to Leo last time I said it, which if that's the case, if you go back and watch that December reading and that's the case, and I don't know, I've done a lot of readings this month, but if that's the case, then 110% very loudly the overwhelming message is this decision is going to be made for you if you don't take the time and energy to make it, even though I see how exhausted you may be trying to rebuild or denying the fact that you need to in your love life. And again, I told you that little tidbit about me because I feel like that might be what is directly making you feel like you can't trust your own intuition. Why do you always make me cry, Leos? I don't. In any case, it's making me cry because I feel like some of you, it has this person, it has just broken you to not only find out that this connection isn't going to be what you hoped it would be, but also to have it question yourself at such a deep level, your own truth and your own ability to listen to your inner voice to make you question that, I mean, that's worth crying over. And that's why I wanted to share, because just because someone or a certain connection turned out to be not what you thought it was, does not mean you can't trust your intuition in every other area of your life. And it should not mean that. Absolutely not. What it can mean is, like myself, you may need to say, okay, in the future, I need to square those personal things off and tell myself, and of course you should listen to your intuition about what energies you let close to you and in your life, but you may need to square those off in a separate section where you say, these things though need rechecked, revisited. About these things I must be honest with myself and say, I may be seeing and hearing what I want here. Even though my intuition is really strong in other areas, I still am human, and I still may falter when it comes to trying to attract in or gain and make progress with a lover that I really want, that I've wanted for a long time, and making that happen. In terms of your business, though, you are advised to put an end to something, even if it is quite painful. With the Ten of Swords in reversed, I see an ending to a negative and painful cycle. Something needs to be finished. The cycle itself was probably negative and painful, and then the ending may have to be as well. That's what you're advised to do. So for a lot of you, it's put an end to this indecision, to this, I'm going to use the word again, impotence, this inability to take action, to put an end to that, put an end to questioning, using your intuition here, if that's the case. And if it is the case that this lover is very much tangled up with your business affairs, is and has been repeatedly negatively affecting your business, then the message is, put an end to that false love so that you can get back on track with your mission here, with what it is that so many other people who love you near and far need you to do. Let me sit just for 1 second with this. See, and I said it with the Six of Pentacles. Your current energy in regards to your business, you know who to give to. It's not reversed. You know who to give to. That inner knowing, listening to your intuition in regards to your business. You know where the energy needs to go. You know where the money needs to go. And any decision that's related to that, your quieted, still mind knows. And that's what a lot of you are saying. That's what a lot of the response is here is, but I can't quiet and still it because of this chaos from this person. And to that I say, yes, you can. Yes, you can. And again, through solemn contemplation and meditation. I'm not saying don't talk to your friends. I'm not saying don't talk to a counselor or whomever it is that you discuss with, but and listening to your inner voice and listening to your intuition and the advice here in this spread and that I got for you when meditating and shuffling, you are advised to go into solemn meditation and contemplation. Turn the television off, not taking advice from your favorite author, not asking your mom or your best friend or the person, the lover themselves, just alone, just you. And you absolutely can quiet it enough to listen to your intuition in regards to your business decisions. Again, one more time, if you want to. If you don't, if you feel you can't, you tell yourself you can't and you don't, then sit with instead the truth, the fact that very well may mean lead to the fact that someone else will end up making that decision for you. I don't know what specifically that decision is. Does that scare you? Does that upset the business boat? Is that something that you cannot abide? Then come the end of the week, you really do need to take action on that decision. But if it's not that big of a deal and you think, you know, whatever, let the multiverse make it, then it probably will, right? But if you want to make it yourself, the cards are screaming, you know who to give your energy and money to, and your intuition can make this decision. I do think that for a lot of you, the case is just that there's this, a separation needs to happen. Maybe with a person, but certainly between your love and work life and your mind and your heart, your ability to listen to your intuition about these two different things. Just because you didn't judge a lover's character right doesn't mean that you won't judge a potential business partner's character right. At no point do you stop honing your intuition and just decide to toss it out. Well, that's no good, I won't listen to that then. No, you keep working on the intuition, right? You keep trying to build it. You find ways to make it work for you. You find ways to tap into it. You find ways to hear it. You find ways to trust it. You absolutely never just toss it out. But I'm probably saying that to a crowd who already knows that, I'm sure. And with that, Leo, we will have to exit this reading. We're way over what I meant to spend on it, but I'm so glad I got the whole message out, and I hope that it helped. I hope it offered you some insight, just something that you didn't have when you came to the reading, and I hope you'll make very wise choices moving forward. Thank you just for being here and for liking and subscribing. I so appreciate it. Welcome, Lunartics. Thank you for all of the interaction, the emails, the comments, the messages, the shares. Greatly appreciate it. For your orders and donations. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You can use the links below to order a private reading from me if you're interested, and you are scheduled as soon as you make that payment. And you are also more than welcome to email me at LunarticksTarot@gmail.com before or after your purchase. Some people want to talk about what reading they want, what area they want to focus on. That's great. I'd love to work with you that way. And I can send you the links that way. Others, want to go ahead and purchase the reading so they're scheduled, and then they want to email me details after, tell me their astrological information, specific questions. It's all great. It's all gravy. It's all good. However you guys want to do it. Some people, though, in particular, keep asking, what do you need to know from me? I guess because a lot of readers ask for certain information. You don't have to tell me anything. You don't have to share anything that you don't want to. If you just want to place the order and see what comes up, that's absolutely fine. But of course, if you want to give me more details, that does make it more likely that we can get more detailed answers. It's however you want to do it. And otherwise, I just wanted to say I love you, Leos, and I will post a mid-December reading for you very soon.